Have you ever felt like you just didn't want to do anything? Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because you're tired in a way sleep can't fix. You wake up and all you want to do is go back to bed. You look at your tasks, your goals, and feel nothing. No motivation, no excitement, just heaviness. So you start blaming yourself. Why am I like this? I'm so lazy. You see others getting things done, moving forward, and you shrink inside, thinking, what's wrong with me? But what if the problem isn't laziness? What if you're not broken? What if you're burnt out? Burnout is not weakness. It's not failure. It's your body and mind screaming, I've carried too much for too long. It's not that you don't care. It's that you've been caring too deeply, too constantly, without rest. You don't need more shame. You need space to breathe. In this video, let's talk about 8 signs you're burnt out, not lazy, so you can understand what's really going on and give yourself the compassion you deserve. What is burnout? Burnout is not just being tired. It's not just needing a weekend off. Burnout is a state of deep physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion caused by long-term, unrelenting stress. It happens when you've been pushing yourself too hard for too long without enough rest, support, or space to recover. And here's the painful part. Burnout doesn't always come with a warning sign. It creeps in quietly. You keep saying, just one more task, just one more late night, until suddenly, you can't function the way you used to. You don't feel like yourself anymore. People often confuse burnout with being lazy, but they're not the same thing. Laziness is a choice to not engage. Burnout is when your mind and body no longer have the capacity to engage, even if you want to. And if you don't recognize burnout for what it is, it can quietly drain your entire life. You start losing energy, you start losing productivity, and slowly, you start losing joy in the things that once mattered to you. Left unchecked, burnout can lead to anxiety, depression, and even physical illness. It affects your work, your relationships, and most importantly, your sense of self. So let me be clear, burnout is not a weakness. It's not a character flaw. It's a natural human response to pushing beyond your limits for too long, without care, without pause, and without kindness to yourself. That's why understanding burnout matters, because when you name it, you can begin to heal it. And healing doesn't start with doing more. It starts with understanding where the breaking point came from. In the next part, let's look at the 8 signs that you might be burnt out and not just lazy. 8 signs you're burnt out, not lazy. So how do you know if what you're feeling is actually burnout and not just laziness? Let's look at the signs. Sign 1. You used to feel motivated, but now you feel nothing. There was a time when you were excited about life, when new goals, projects, or even small plans made you feel alive. But now, everything feels empty. The things that once lit a spark in you now feel meaningless. It's like your passion went numb. Your energy didn't disappear overnight. It slowly faded under the weight of constant pressure. This shift from driven to disconnected is often one of the first signs of burnout. Sign 2. You want to act, but your mind and body won't move. You still want to get things done. You still care. But it's like something invisible is holding you down. You sit there, staring at the task in front of you, but your limbs feel heavy. Your brain feels foggy. You can't find the strength to begin. This isn't about being lazy. This is your nervous system, overwhelmed and overloaded. Burnout isn't a lack of discipline. It's a signal from your body saying, "I've gone beyond my limits." Sign 3. You sleep a lot, but still feel tired. You try to rest, you sleep in, you take naps, but no matter how many hours you spend in bed, you wake up exhausted. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. It's like your body is trying to recharge, but something inside you is still drained. This isn't laziness. It's not oversleeping. It's your nervous system struggling to recover from a constant state of stress. Sign 4. Even small tasks feel overwhelming. You look at the dishes and feel like crying. You see a message on your phone and can't bring yourself to open it. Not because you don't care, but because everything feels like too much. When you're burnt out, the smallest things can feel impossible. Your brain is trying to protect you from one more decision, one more demand, one more drop of pressure. This is not weakness. This is survival mode. Sign 5. Your emotions feel unstable. You're easily irritated or completely numb. You find yourself snapping over little things. Things that never used to bother you suddenly feel overwhelming. Or worse, you feel nothing, just numb, disconnected. One moment you're frustrated, the next, empty. This isn't just a bad mood, it's your nervous system stuck in survival mode. Burnout keeps your body in a constant state of tension. Your brain doesn't know when it's safe to relax. So it either overreacts or shuts everything down. You're not crazy, you're not unstable, you're exhausted. Sign 6. You blame yourself and feel like a failure. You start thinking, "What's wrong with me? I should be stronger. Maybe I'm just lazy." That inner voice becomes harsh. Every little thing becomes your fault. But the truth is, burnout lies to you. It tells you that you're not enough when you've already given too much. And the more you try to push through, the more drained you become. Self-discipline isn't what you need right now. What you need is self-compassion, not judgment, not punishment, but care. Real, gentle care. Sign 7. You withdraw, even from people you care about. You stop responding to texts. You cancel plans. You ignore calls, even from people you love. It's not because you're cold. It's not because you don't care. It's because you're trying to survive. Burnout makes everything feel like too much, even connection. So you pull back, not out of selfishness, but to protect the little energy you have left. And even though you feel guilty, deep down, you're just trying to breathe. Sign 8. You feel like you've lost yourself. You used to have goals, dreams, a sense of who you were. But now, it's like you're drifting. No direction, no spark. You go through the motions, but it doesn't feel like you anymore. You look in the mirror and wonder, where did I go? This is one of the most painful signs of burnout. It doesn't just exhaust you, it disconnects you from your own identity. But here's the truth. That version of you, the real you, isn't gone. You're still there, just buried beneath the exhaustion. If you've seen yourself in any of these signs, please know you're not alone. You're not broken. You're burnt out. And once you can see it clearly, you can begin to heal. In the next part, let's talk about how burnout happens, and more importantly, what you can gently do about it. The difference between lazy and burnt out. By now, you may be wondering, how do I really know if I'm just lazy or actually burnt out? It's a fair question, because on the surface, they look similar. Low energy, no progress, constant avoidance. But underneath, they come from very different places, and they need very different kinds of care. Let's break it down. 1. Emotionally. How does it feel? Laziness feels like boredom or indifference. You simply don't want to do it. Burnout feels different. You do want to do it, but your body and mind just can't. You're not uninterested, you're overwhelmed. There's a desire inside you, but no strength left to act on it. 2. The root cause. Where is it coming from? Laziness usually stems from lack of direction, discipline, or structure. But burnout comes from caring too much, too long, without rest. It's the result of being on all the time, always showing up, always producing. Until your system shuts down to protect itself. Laziness is a pause. Burnout is a collapse. 3. The behavior. What does it look like? Laziness often involves active avoidance, scrolling, procrastinating, choosing not to engage. Burnout shows up as emotional paralysis. You freeze, you go blank, you disappear not because you want to, but because you have to. You're not avoiding responsibility. You're drowning under it. 4. The solution. What do you really need? If you're lazy, you probably need more structure, clear goals, external motivation, accountability. But if you're burnt out, more pressure will only push you further down. What you need isn't more effort. You need rest, real rest. You need space to breathe, time to reconnect with your inner self, support that doesn't demand more from you, but offers compassion for what you've already carried. Summary: laziness is not doing because you don't feel like it. Burnout is not doing because you can't anymore. One is a choice, the other is a cry for help. And when you finally understand that difference, you stop punishing yourself. You stop pushing harder when what you really need is to pause. And in that pause, healing begins. Powerful conclusion. You're not lazy. You're human. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You're just tired. Tired from being strong for too long, from carrying too much without a break, from showing up for everyone while forgetting yourself. And somewhere along the way, exhaustion whispered lies into your mind. You're weak. You're falling behind. You're just not trying hard enough. But that voice is not truth. It's the voice of burnout. The truth is, you've been fighting silently for longer than anyone knows. And it's time not to quit, but to pause, to breathe, to come home to yourself. Rest is not weakness. Rest is not giving up. Rest is how you rise. So today, give yourself permission. Permission to stop punishing yourself, to stop calling it laziness, and to start offering yourself what you've given to everyone else: patience, grace, kindness, care. Start small, drink some water, step outside, say one kind thing to yourself. Not because you should, but because you matter. This is your turning point. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now. You don't have to do everything. You just have to begin. With one breath, one choice, one act of compassion toward yourself. Because burnout may have dimmed your light, but it did not put it out. And when you stop calling it laziness, you begin to reclaim your power. So pause, rest, heal, then rise, gently but surely, back into who you truly are.